Yeah, well, well, thank you, and I'm proud to be here tonight at the Center City Club, which I've always thought of as the Brian Hornback Club.
It's the Roberta Potter Club
and
the David Whitten and the Mayor Pond Gaps Club.
And I think, and that's what the people who really know the club will really tell you. But it's I've known Brian probably my whole life. We both grew up in East Knox County and went to church at East Minster. And I've been reading Brian's blog for 20 years, and I think I can admit that I've read it for about 10 of those. There were a few of those where we didn't really want to talk about it.
2013, 2015 was rough.
Yeah, but I just want to say it's an honor to be here, and it's an honor to be running. And I just want to echo what Richie said, where it's actually a good thing to have this many candidates running for office. Both in this race and in the sheriff's race, and they're saying iron sharpens iron, and the competition makes everybody better. And at the end of the day, after this primary is over, I'm sure that the three of us in this room and the other candidate, as well as the candidates for the other offices, will all get together as a party and support the nominee and move forward. And I also just want to say while I'm here that I'm especially proud of what this club is doing for this part of our city, because we all know what is going on politically as far as the climate and the shift from conservative to more left-leaning, particularly in the city. And I think there's no more important part than right here in the center city than to plant the Republican flag and to keep doing what you're doing. But I'm here to talk about the clerk's race. I'm running for county clerk for a lot of reasons, but the main reason, what I keep telling people is at the end of the day, I just want to help and serve other people. And I said this a few times. I think the county clerk's office, in a lot of ways, it's like the front door or the front porch of the county government. So it doesn't matter, who you are. Just about everybody's going to deal with the county clerk's office at some point. Not everybody's going to be going to the courts or dealing with the mayor's office, but everybody is going to come through, whether it's for a registration or a business license, a marriage license. And I grew up in a family that emphasized public service, and with my dad and my grandfather before him, really the hallmark of our family was always the constituent service side of things, and it was always helping regular people at the end of the day. And that's what I see this office as an opportunity to do, and that's to come in and to help people with first-class service, to go above and beyond, to do whatever I can to help them work with their government, and to do it at the lowest cost possible with fiscal conservatism. So we say we want to provide better services, the best service possible, but we also want to eliminate waste and do it at the lowest cost possible. And it is a balance, as Richie mentioned, but it's a balance that you've got to know how to strike and to weigh the pros and cons. And so I talk about a budget philosophy that I've followed in the private sector and in the public sector, zero-sum budgeting. And it's where you start at zero, and before any dollar goes in, it's got to be scrutinized and justified before you add it to the budget. And rather than looking at the budget, figuring out what you can cut, I think you should build it from the bottom up. And if you do it that way, you're typically going to come up with the leanest, most efficient model possible. I also believe in openness and transparency, and I think Sherry Witt's done a great job when it comes to putting up the financial records of the clerk's office online every month. And I want to take what she's done and just build upon that. I think every citizen in Knox County, every taxpayer should see where every dollar goes that's in the county budget, and I think it should be easy to find. And the clerk, as you all know, also serves as the clerk of the county commission. And if anybody's ever tried to look back and research what maybe past county commissions have done, it's not that easy to do on your own. And so that's something that I really want to, and I know Richie's talked about the same thing. It's really taking those records and making them more accessible, searchable, more easily for the public to find out what's going on. But as far as my background goes, I'm married. My wife Elizabeth is here, and I'm also the father of twins Jimmy and Charlie, who are 10 years old. Charlie's actually sick right now, and Jimmy's at baseball at Rocky Hill, and I hate to tell John and Richie this, but right now, when they see your signs, they think you all are the bad guys. But we'll all get together, after May 5th and work that out. But I've worked, so I'm the only candidate in this race who spent the majority of their career in the private sector. For over 20 years, I've worked in business, whether that's banking. I've started my own business, had the chance to lead a medical technology company as the CEO, and most recently I've worked as a territory manager for Comcast. But also, as most of you know, in 2010 was elected to the Knox County Trustee's Office, and a lot of people, like to point out, one mistake that I did wrong in that office, and I'll be the first to admit that I did make a mistake. It was an honest mistake. There was, no negative intention, but I'm proud of what we accomplished. As when I was in the trustee's office, we cut the budget by 20%, but despite that, collections set a record at the time, which current collections are always going to set a record in a growing county, but we also increased delinquent collections by over 30%. We increased investment income by 53% during that time. We made some common sense reforms. There was, a lot of you may remember, there was a delinquent tax attorney contract. It was worth over $400,000 a year to the attorney who got it. We canceled that, brought it in-house. So by this point, that saved millions and millions of dollars. We also restructured the way we used the satellite offices, made it seasonal employees rather than paying people to sit out there all year round when they're only really working for about 3 months of those years. So there's plenty of changes that we made that I'm proud of in the trustee's office. Those are the same kind of things that I'd like to do, with the clerk's office, is bring fresh eyes and a private sector business-like mindset to the office and make the changes there. But I would appreciate your support. I would appreciate your vote, and I thank you all for having me.
Thank you.